On a quiet summer night in June of 1912 in the small town of Villisca, Iowa, an entire family and two young guests were slaughtered in their beds. The crime was brutal. The weapon was an axe, and the killer was never caught. More than a century later, the house where it happened still stands, and many believe it is cursed. This is the terrifying true story of the Villisca Axe Murders. The Moore family were well known in Villisca. Josiah and Sarah Moore lived in their modest white house with their 4 children, Herman, Catherine, Boyd, and Paul. They were church-going, respected, and loved. On June 9, 1912, the family spent the evening at church, attending a Children's Day program. 2 neighborhood girls, Lena and Ina Stillinger, were invited to stay the night with the Moores after the event. No one could have known that by dawn, all 8 of them would be dead. As the town of Villisca slept, a killer silently entered the Moore home. Armed with Josiah's own axe, the intruder crept from room to room. Every member of the household was bludgeoned in their beds as they slept. Some victims suffered blows so violent that parts of the ceiling were marked with axe wounds. The Stillinger girls, just 12 and 8 years old, were killed last. When the Moores did not appear the next morning, neighbors grew concerned. Soon, a search party entered the house. What they found inside shocked the entire community. Blood covered the walls and floors. Every mirror in the house had been covered with cloths, and the killer had draped clothing over the victims' faces, as if ashamed of what had been done. The investigation that followed was chaotic. Hundreds of townspeople trampled through the crime scene, contaminating evidence. Suspects ranged from local townsfolk to traveling strangers, even rival businessmen. But despite arrests, trials, and accusations, no one was ever convicted. The Villisca axe murderer vanished without a trace, leaving only speculation and whispers of evil. The house where it happened still stands today, but it has never been at peace. Visitors report cold spots, footsteps in empty hallways, doors that slam on their own, and whispers in the dark. Some say they have seen ghostly children, while others claim a dark shadow figure stalks the bedrooms at night. Paranormal investigators have called it one of the most haunted houses in America. In 2014, a paranormal investigator visiting the Villisca house was found with self-inflicted stab wounds, claiming unseen forces had taken him over. Though he survived, his story only added to the legend that something sinister still lurks inside. Today, the house operates as a tourist attraction where brave souls can stay overnight. Few make it through the darkness without hearing or seeing something they cannot explain. Word of the murders spread quickly through Villisca and beyond. Newspapers published sensational headlines, and townsfolk whispered theories at every corner. Fear gripped the town. Parents kept their children indoors, and every shadowed alley seemed to hide a sinister presence. For months, no one felt safe in their own homes. The case dominated headlines across the country. Papers published gruesome details of the murders, fueling panic and fascination. Some claimed it was the work of a deranged stranger. Others believed a local resident was hiding a dark secret. Every theory seemed more horrifying than the last. Investigators arrested several suspects over the years, but each lead ended in disappointment. Reverend George Kelly, a traveling preacher with a sinister reputation, was tried and acquitted. Other suspects vanished, moved away, or had alibis. The killer remained elusive, as if the night itself had swallowed them whole. Today, those who visit the Villisca house report chilling encounters. Some claim to see children running through the hallways, giggling softly before vanishing. Others hear the faint thud of the axe being dragged across the floor late at night. Sleepovers in the house are not uncommon, but few leave without an unsettling story to tell. Paranormal investigators have spent countless nights inside the house. Cameras capture unexplained orbs, cold spots are measured at unnerving levels, and electronic devices malfunction inexplicably. Even skeptics admit there's something here that cannot be explained by science alone. Some brave visitors report waking to unseen hands brushing their skin. Others describe whispers calling their names, or glimpsing shadowy figures in mirrors. One guest claimed to see a dark silhouette holding an axe, standing silently at the foot of a bed. Fear, it seems, lingers long after the doors are closed. The Villisca Axe Murder House has become a destination for thrill seekers and ghost hunters alike. But every visitor leaves with the same uneasy feeling, that the house remembers, that it waits, and that the spirits of the Moore family are never truly at rest. Some say, if you listen closely, you can still hear the echoes of that fateful night.